Hey, what's going on, guys? So, obviously, you can tell I'm a lot more energetic because I was tired in the last video. Um, so, yeah, we are, as you saw in the last video, I am going to review the X-Men 97 Marvel Legends Jean Grey. So, here's a standard X-Men 97 box. Got a picture of Jean Grey over here. In the back, you got a picture of the figure, and also all of the other figures in this wave of X-Men 97. Like I said, I really only want these two left. I've got these two. I just want those two now. So, although Magneto is very tempting because I do like that outfit, and the action figure has been performing really well. So, I do hope that they do more waves. Um, I want. I mean, there's a lot of background characters they could do. But there's a lot of characters that they haven't gotten to. They haven't gotten to Beast or Morph or Jubilee or Sunspot even, and they also. No, I shouldn't say that because that might be a spoiler to people who haven't watched it. Most people have watched it, but I'm not going to spoil that. There's just a lot of other things they can make action figures of, and I hope they do make more waves. And obviously, they're making more seasons, so we're going to get more action figures, but I want more soon because this is kind of my way of being able to get some of the X-Men I never had before. Some very essential ones that I always wanted but I never got because either I missed them or wasn't able to get them or I completely never saw them. So yeah. But here she is, and this is what she comes out of the packaging. Well, except for this, she has. I think she originally comes out of the packaging with a fist on this hand. But speaking of, she comes with a couple other accessories. So here is the fist, and then here is the other hand splayed out. Um, and then she has a head with the lawn droop down here, which you see on the promotional art and also the cartoon art. I know a lot of people prefer this look. I've heard that this ponytail falls out, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm not worried about it falling out. I'm worried about the fact that a lot of people have said that it falls out pretty frequently. Um, I like both looks, but I think this looks better for dynamic posing. So we'll see. But if not, at least I have this one, so I don't have to have it. And what I mean is that it like people say that it just constantly like falls out, and I'm kind of worried about that. So, but we shall see. So here she is. This is the classic Jim Lee look. Now, obviously, I didn't grow up with this look because I grew up on the X-Men movies a lot, and also X-Men Evolution and Wolverine and the X-Men as well. So I had a lot of different looks. Like I knew these looks, but these weren't the main ones. So here she is. My head sculpt's done pretty well, and I'm so glad that it's not focusing. But I do know that there's like a tiny little bit of like paint overlap right around the cheek area, but that's fine. Obviously got the standard blue and yellow coloring. I've heard that some people actually consider this outfit really ugly. I really like this outfit. I don't know about you. Um, I mean, it's definitely not an outfit that I could imagine in a movie setting, but then again, they've been able to pull a lot of comic accurate outfits off pretty well. So maybe we will get this in movie form one day. But she's got a lot of other outfits that work too. So yeah, but pretty standard. There is some sculpting on the legs here. You can kind of see it. There's some lines there, some lines down here. I guess these are supposed to mark where the boots are. Then on the gauntlets, they've got some lines sculpted in there. And these little patches on the side of the arms are sculpted too. These little shoulder pads move with the shoulder. Um, the X is sculpted, and then there's sculpting around the belt, I guess, on the waist. But other than that, it is a pretty smooth figure. So there's some sculpted lines in the hair as well. Trying to think here. So yeah, not to rush this video, but um, let's get into the articulation because we can discuss that here in a second. So her head, like I said, I am very worried about that popping out, and I can already see how it would. So she can look up that far, I think. I imagine the other head you can't move at all because this hair is a little flexible, but not really. And she can look down that far, can look side to side, and she's got head tilt. But the thing is that like you can, um, you know, swivel this, which is where it gets into issues. Then her shoulders move out that far. They can rotate all. Well, that's the bicep swivel. Can rotate all the way around. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed, pinless elbows. So glad that that's just a standard now, and then a hinge swivel and a hinge in and out. And all the hinges are in and out on the hands. So she's got no ab crunch and no like diaphragm joint, I guess, but she just has an overall, I guess, like torso joint, which allows her to crunch that far forward, that far back, tilt, and swivel. And at least for a few action figures, I could see that being a good replacement for all that. But obviously, preferably, you would want just the standard articulation. So her leg can kick out that far, kick back that far. She's got an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Ankles move down, they move up, and she's got ankle pivot. So now we can get into some comparisons here. We've got quite a few comparisons I want to do, mostly X-Men related, but get to that. So first we'll get into the one that I reviewed yesterday and her, of course, her husband. That's not a spoiler for the show or for the comics even. That's been kind of a standard in the comics recently, thankfully, in my opinion. Kind of get tired of the love triangle stuff. I deal enough with that with some other characters, but don't know if they're entirely standing up and down perfectly, but there they are. And then we've got, we'll do her with Rogue. There you go. And we'll do her with Kurt. And then Gambit. And finally, I took him out of the tub I had him in. Here she is next to Wolverine. So there you go. So there's the X-Men stuff. I'll do some other comparisons. Here's a little bit of a random one. Here she is next to the Marvel Legends Moon Knight. In case you want to get, I guess, some Moon Knight and X-Men collaboration there. Then here she is next to Winter Soldier. Then we'll do some other lines, I guess. Doesn't have his wings on currently, but I imagine he's going to be much bigger. But here she is next to Hawkman. Oh yeah, she's basically like a kid level to him. But McFarlane is standard 7 inches, which for me, who would, I mean, I don't, obviously on a main display I wouldn't do this, but if I were to ever want to do like a little bit of a display of like a Marvel and DC crossover, it does kind of suck because then you have to pose them in the right way to where it doesn't look too weird. But here's a DC Essentials Batgirl, which she actually works pretty good in scale compared because she's shorter than some characters, but she's still pretty small. But she is a bit taller than Jean Grey. Although that could also be because I don't have Jean Grey probably fully standing at her exact height. And then we will do another Hasbro line. Here she is next to Star Wars The Black Series Commander Wolf. There he is. So, there you go. Like I said, I hope they make more of just this first season. There's a whole bunch of characters they could be making. And I'm kind of afraid to say anything because even though it's been out for a while now, I don't want to spoil anything. But there's a lot of different characters they can make action figures of from the series. And I hope they do. Some villains, but overall there's just a bunch of characters that they could do that are main characters, but then there's also some like background characters that you just see in like the background that I feel like they could easily do a wave of if they really wanted to. But yeah. Now, as you can tell, I didn't get a lot from that first wave of action figures, mostly because I don't need most of those ones. Because this is wave 2, I guess. And wave 1 had Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, Bishop, and Magneto. And I only needed one of those characters, and that was Rogue. Because I already had a Bishop, I already had a Gambit. And those were basically just re-releases of that. I already had a Magneto. And I already had a Wolverine. So. Now, unfortunately, as you saw yesterday, I did show you one of the comics I got. I did get 2 other comics. And since I don't know when the next action figure review will be, it won't be as long, but I'm kind of busy setting some stuff up. So we'll see when the next action figure review will be. I hope it won't be too long, because I think it'd be pretty fun. And I'm glad that this is Marvel Legends. It's been a while since I've done Marvel Legends, mostly because they're harder to find. But there's also a bunch of DC action figures that were released and announced in the time that I haven't made videos. So I do apologize for that, but I was busy doing a lot of stuff. But here are the 2 other comics I got. They're both DC, which isn't an unfortunate thing. It's just unfortunate that it's with the Marvel Legends. So I've got Cyborg Homecoming and Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow. So been looking forward to these for a while. So there was a lot of other comics at the place that I went to, which was a Barnes & Noble, that had some ones that I wanted, and it was very tempting not to get a lot of those, but I was like, I was traveling at the time, and I didn't want to carry a bunch of stuff, so yeah, but, other than that, that is pretty much it. Hope you do, hope you did, enjoy this video. I don't know, I guess, comment, like, and subscribe, but comment who your favorite X-Men is. It doesn't have to be from the show. It can be from just the general X-Men. My favorite is... It's kind of bounced in between throughout my life. More recently, it's Gambit. Of course, Rogue gets thrown in there, too. But when I was a kid, Gambit wasn't there as much. He was there. But it was more between Angel, Iceman, and Nightcrawler. And even Havoc at times. I really like Havoc. So, let me know who your favorite X-Men is. I will throw in another X-Men that I think is unappreciated, which is Sunfire. He's actually one of the first X-Men Marvel Legends I ever got. He's somewhere in the tub right now. He actually does make a brief appearance in the show. This is not a major spoiler. He's like a background character. And he's unmasked, but he was doing something. So I think he's really neat. But anywho, enough rambling. Hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.